Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another beautifully polygonal day here on my procedurally generated frozen snowy tundra crash site server. I don't know what we're going to call this thing, but this is crash site 1 over here, and right in the distance is base camp 1, and over here is Buttle's training facility, the Rapid Skills Development Training Center, I believe it's called. I'll come up with the exact name of it here in just a moment. And last time, when we were working on the projects in here, we built a sugarcane farm, right? A nice, easily utilized one. It will automatically harvest whenever that sugarcane block over there goes in front of that observer, you know. But if you don't like that, it's also an interactive art piece that teaches you how to mill sugarcane into paper by pressing here. First step is to harvest the sugarcane, then it gets milled, and then it gets put into water and pressed and dried and turns into paper. Well, you need to do that. So once you do that, you can come around the corner here and trade with all the villagers who are kept warm inside this frozen area by the geothermal instabilities caused by the local region. This is warm in here. It's nice and warm, and it's conducive to the growth of plants, very much like a warm greenhouse without all the lighting. But we were thinking about possibly expanding some additional farms in here so that these gentlemen can train other refugees and us on how to, you know, plant, sow crops, and harvest them so that we can have a perpetual supply of food. The refugees of the Great Zombie The Great Zomblin Gold Incursion, if I remember correctly. Alright, so as you can see down at the bottom, I have 30 levels exactly. I've been digging things up and down below to... Ooh, it's cold out here. Let me hustle back over to the other place real fast here. I've been digging things up down below to make sure I got 30 levels so I could use my pickaxe enchant, which is a Silk Touch pick enchant. So that's what we're going to do. Let me see here. I'm also going to, I believe we're in the communal chest here, gang. But I have a plan. I also have, let me see here. I'll do that. I also have a fortune book, I believe, over there at the Rapid Skills Development Training Center. And what am I looking for? Tools. So I will put, fortune on that, and then go get some diamonds that I've left all alone down at the bottom. down below in my dig shafts because I was, you know, digging and didn't have either Fortune 3 or Silk Touch. So let's go ahead and see if we can get first Silk Touch on this bad boy. Right, I believe that's what I wanted. And the reason we're doing Silk Touch is so that we can go and get ice. Yeah, that's what we want. 2, 3. Silk Touch. And... oh, efficiency 4 and unbreaking 3. We hit the pay dirt there. That's awesome. All 3 of those coming in there. What else can we put on there? Jiminy Christmas. Nothing, I guess. We can't put, well, mending. We can put mending on that in a little bit, but that is awesome. Okay, what's my next one going to be? Wouldn't this unbreaking 3? We don't need unbreaking. We need fortune. Okay, so how are we going to get fortune? Well, we still have 27 levels, which is awesome. I traded over in the training hall. the Rapid Skills Development Training Facility to get those books. So, I'm gonna need a book to get some fortune. Are there any blanks in here? There are. Let me see here. Let me get that. You know what? Let me take a couple over there just to see what else might be over there. All right. Oh my goodness. Oh, I need emeralds, and as you can tell, I have some. So let's take these over there to the Rapid Skills Development Training Facility and see if any of the educators there are willing to teach me how to put Fortune 3 on a regular old pickaxe. Well, at least teach me how to learn the spell so I can put it on whatever I want to put it on later. Bam. Breaking that bad boy in for the first time. Alright, what do we got over here? Do you have Fortune? No. Nope. Smite. I believe it was you who had Fortune. Fortune 3 for 20. Alright, we've got that. Let's see if anybody else has who's willing to teach us Fortune 3 for any less than that. Unlikely, you know, it's right where it needs to be. And mending. Oh, do we want to get the mending book too? While I'm thinking about it. If we get the mending book from this guy, hold on, let me bust out all these emeralds. If we get the mending book from this guy, how much training does that give him? Not nearly enough. So this is going to be our bookshelf guy. This is where we're going to get all the books. You know what? Let me get one investment of books. Okay, and then this guy was mending for 14. Boy, oh boy. Mending for 14. And if I'm not mistaken, I have a Silk Touch over here for 2. It was 2. Oh man, I was training with him. He got all the way down to 2. How about this guy? Was it this guy? Nope. Somebody else had Silk Touch for the low price of 2. Well, it's 5, so it is what it is. So let me get my Silk Touch here. Get 5 of those. Fortune 3. Awesome. Okay. We got an anvil anywhere? Let's head back over into the main base one. Gang, I was on my way over to the iceberg biome, which is just at the end of this tunnel. And along the way, I happened to run across one of these bad boys. This appears to be that mysterious ingot that we've been hunting after, or the metal, which will need to form into an ingot. Hidden in the depths. I've got new recipes. I wonder if there's another one around here. Word on the street is that sometimes they spawn near each other. Sometimes. Oh well. Apparently not. But it was also my understanding that this stuff spawns down at like level 15. And this is way up on the top. Well, near the top at 121-ish? 120-ish, I think. So, yeah, I'm not sure what was going on there, but hey, I'll take it. 1 for me. 1 ancient debris for JC. 1 trip to the iceberg biome later, and we've got, well, we didn't get that. That's from our snow globe guy over there. We got a little bit of ice. We didn't get much of that for reasons. We got a little bit of packed ice. Basically everything I could fit in my own bags. And a little bit of blue ice. Now, the thing about this is, ice, you can put 4 of them together to make, is it 4? Oh, it's 9. Hold on, let me double check. Pretty sure you can turn, yeah, you can turn ice into packed ice, right? And you can turn packed ice into blue ice. Packed ice into blue ice. But you can't go backwards. So if we're going to construct in the nether with something, it'll probably be the packed ice from the icebergs. Or we can get an ice farm going, which I think I could do pretty simply. And blue ice, maybe I do blue ice for like a trim. So like, let's say we have a farm that's kind of going like that, right? Boom, 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 and it goes that direction, right? So that's my attempt to make it 3D. But let's just say that like all the corners are like this, or all the pillars on the outside edges. The trim, that's the word I'm looking for. The trim is all in that color, and then everything else will be, you know, glass or something like that. And now that we've got villagers we can trade with for glass, we can start bringing in a lot more of that stuff as well. Things to think about. Let me go ahead and put my pick back in its safe hidey hole while I'm working on what I'm going to do next. And let's cut right to that right now. Alright, gang, I have decided on an ice farm, and where I'm going to build it is just over here, just a little bit around the corner from base camp 1, next to the snowmobile, right there. And as you can see by the map on the side, it'll still be in view when the time comes. I just spent some time making a whole bunch of pistons, and I am going to make it flush with this mountain and dig out any of the redstone I need to dig out later. Or am I? Or am I? Should I just go ahead and stick it right there? I mean, they're all right there anyways, right? I don't know. Let's figure this out, though, first. So there's 1 of these, 2 of these. Uh-oh. Can I do it from here? Or am I going to be in trouble? I don't think I'm going to be able to do it from here. But, anyways, I'm going to put together a giant block. Yeah, I need to dig out all of that. Giant block of pistons that are going to be on the wall of this thing. And we are going to make it so that we can have an ice block that's going to be generated over here somewhere, and then we'll put over here somewhere, and then we'll push it out in front of all of these guys, and then something at the end will have a redstone torch of some sort, so that when the ice comes over here and fills this block, it'll also power, do I have a junk block? No. It'll also power whatever block is here, and that will give a signal that I could run both up and over, so that all of the pistons fire forward at once. All right. I'm also going to do a piston that goes across and one that fires down. Let's see, like this. Oh man, like this. So that, all right. So this is what's going to happen. There's going to be a block of water that will be turned into ice, and it'll get pushed over, pushed over, pushed over. As it keeps making ice, it'll get detected and pushed over. Then it'll be pushed down. once it gets to the end in that fashion. And then, or will it be pushed up? I haven't decided yet. I'll figure it out. But one way or other, we're going to get one line that goes across, and then it's going to go up or down to fill a two-dimensional plane, and then we're going to have a three-dimensional plane that comes out to here, and then we'll worry about how we're going to break it all and get it collected next. Here you go. This should give you a better look about what I'm talking about here. Let me go ahead and pop down here. What I've decided to do was make the ice at the top. We're going to put together a little ice making device right there, and then every now and again, once it creates a block, it'll push across. Boop, 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 boop. And then when it gets over there, I'm going to do something to send a pulse into these guys that'll fire them all down. And every time that fills up, it'll fire down, 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 down until it gets all the way down here. And then we'll figure out a way to send a pulse to all of them to press that whole sheet forward one, repeating the process. I did it like this because in my mind it's easier to send a redstone signal up, and if I'm going to send a redstone signal up to all of these pistons, I'd rather do it up than down, right? Okay, so over here we're going to do collection system. Over here, back entrance, so you can kind of see it a little bit. I need to dig it out, and I also want to frame it. I'm not sure what I want to frame it with though, but I do know I want it framed with something. So let me go get some framing blocks and start putting the beautification on this project right away also. Over here past our snowball generator, we are working on our ice farm, and our ice farm has been decorated ever so slightly in polished basalt and blackstone and polished blackstone and some more basalt down below. I do need to make a hopper chain here. The chest is temporary. I don't know what my decorations are below it. Looks like more basalt. Alright, so for this, though, we are going to bam, 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 try to get this going like this. I know that I'll probably have a little bit of loss here because the ice blocks will explode and presumably land right on the edge here and might not get picked up in the water stream that we're going to be creating. But that's okay. If I want to, really seriously, I can come back and put blocks in along the side. Along the back wall here, I think it won't matter because these all waterlogged will be waterlogged from here flowing forward, so that'll look pretty cool. So I think we're going to go with aesthetic on this over functionality necessarily. Let's see here. Just get a quick peek at what this is going to look like for us. And let me pop out here. Aha, in here. There we go. Alright. Step back, and take a look. What do we got here? Purple. Kind of purple. It's the magenta color, so... Oh, I only had one pane of glass left. How could I... Alright. It's the purple color, so I think it's going to look alright. The idea here is that we're bringing blocks from the nether out into the cold regions, and we're taking blocks from this cold region down into the nether. And as you can see, a lot of that already has that kind of... It's a purplish color, but it's leaning more towards the pink side of purple. So I'm kind of digging on it. It looks pretty good here too. So there, and then we're going to bring it over here. So we're going with the black and purple so far for our road uniforms. And so far I think it looks pretty good. Alrighty, and then also in here, oh, I went ahead and put those glass panes there and didn't do this. We're going to have the water streams going. Do I have an infinite water source nearby? I don't. I will get this done and start working on the redstone up there to get the actual block of ice that's going to be generated. Alright, we've got the preliminary build of the ice machine ice tray in place. We've already got a piece of ice. That's awesome. All we're waiting on now is for the sun to traverse. Oh, it's high noon. It's going to be a moment. It's high noon. It's going to be a moment, but this thing will tick. This will detect the tick, send a pulse into that. This will pull a pulse off into that and push that block. I'm going to run redstone in this direction into another one of those blocks, but I'm all out for now, so it'll go into that block, right? And that block will power, and that will make that fire off. This is in position to see if this clock is working right. If this is creating a pulse into the block beneath it, I doubt, you know, because it's not a full block. But If it does, yay. If it doesn't, all right. We'll know when that thing moves, but this one doesn't. But, you know, I can fix that. I can just make this block a full block. That'll kind of reduce its quote-unquote efficiency a little bit. Or what could I do? I could put this block facing into the piston and this guy directly on top of it, which actually might be the better solution. So I'll do some decorative stuff here. And over here, it did, in fact, tick over a little bit. The sun moved over just a little bit, and we can see our block moved down a block. That is awesome. So this thing, every time daylight moves a little bit, will push. And eventually, this ice tray will be completely full, and it'll push over here, push into here, and then this will push over to here. And then this will become the one into all of that. And, ooh, I almost fell all the way to my death. I don't know if it's going to go all the way across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. No, it's not quite going to ever make it to this last one, which is unfortunate. But we can do something. We can do something. We can work around that. We can work around that. All right, so what's the workaround going to be? Let me go figure that out. All right, we have been doing some experimenting here, and I've got this all ready to go to collect the things. I need to get some hoppers in place still. Up here, I have compacted this down. There was no need for me to have an entire tray of them because, after all, it was only going to be able to push one at a time anyways. So we moved it here. We took some ice and put an ice barrier along here. Otherwise, the water, which you might be able to see, would flow and cause issues, but because of this blockage now, it won't. But even if all that ice wasn't there, it would just flow down into this area down here. So it might mess up the collection a little bit, but the ice would still be there. You could manually collect it. What did we do to get this top portion working? Well, down at the very, very end, we placed an observer block right there. So when a block comes into the position here, it will power a piston there, right? Which needs to be a sticky piston. And that will give us a leading edge pulse. So that will send power into that block. This block will draw power out of it. As that's drawing power out of it, this block being powered in this position will power that piston, which will push it up, right? And in that span, it'll get ejected because it'll be a real quick pulse. It'll push it up, and then there'll be no power there for it to pull back, and then it'll be no bud power. It'll just be sitting there when it's a sticky piston, right? So this is what it looks like when it ejects. Let me go ahead and pick it up for the experiment we'll show you. But as it's ejecting that block, and as that's happening, this powers this, which comes up here and powers all of these. That way, when the piston goes down and back up, this observer, when it detects that change, will send a pulse through here, but there will be no block there for it to send a pulse through, right? By way of example, let's use this piece of dirt. Let me see if I can reach it from here. All right. Boom. Just like that. See, it only did it once. Nice. Okay, so what's left? I need to jump down into the water here. Figure out something so that when this whole wall, that slice gets pushed down to here. Oh, is that 12? Uh-oh. I'm going to have to observe out the side, I think. We'll see what I do for that. Okay, we've managed to figure out how we were going to detect those blocks, and we ended up doing both of them just out to the side a little bit. It's not a very big footprint, so I think that's going to work. What happens is when a block comes in, when a block comes in there, it'll send a pulse that way, pushing all of those down. When a block comes in here, it'll send a pulse this way, pushing all of these out. By way of demonstration purposes, I hope I have this all wired up right. Uh-oh. Apparently I do not. What's happening here? I'll have to figure that out. That should have just ejected. We'll figure that out. In the meantime, I was making this out of basalt back here, and I ran out of basalt, and about halfway to the nether to go start digging some more, it occurred to me, I actually have a basalt generator already, right? So this is the handy-dandy 3-in-1 generating device. We'll come up with a name for it, but not only will it generate ice on a pulse that is determined by the frequency of the sun, because frankly, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if this timing is too fast for water block to actually be able to form up in there for a second, you know, and that might be too slow. And I've made it very slow so I can adjust the timings of it. But check this out. I've already taken the water out. I've flipped this thing around, If you want it to be ice, you turn that stair that way, you fill them both with water. You know that. But if you want something other than ice, oh boy, check this out. All right, so, this one, and I'm not sure which one it is, but we'll come over here, and we'll put lava in there. Why isn't it? All right, let's. All right, I'm not quite certain if it's doing it right or not. So let's just turn this like this for now and put this here. All right, so it is definitely flowing over that. And if we put packed ice, nope, we're gonna sacrifice a packed ice. Is it blue ice? I think it is. I think it is. And we turn this bad boy on, right? Did it make another one? Just in time? Just in time, I think it did. Let's go check it out. So, not only is this an ice farm, not only is this a cobblestone farm, because I could have just as easily used water and lava, but check it out. Where's that water coming from? And why is there water coming from there? And why did it stop all of my redstone timings? Well, it took me a minute, but I figured out the redstone timing on both of those bits of circuitry that I needed to get done, and I decided to swing them out from the mountain so that when I build the enclosure for the engineering workspace, the AKA maintenance area of the facility, it won't need to be dug into the mountain so much. And it kind of, when I did swing it back that way, some of the redstone would overlap, and it was causing problems. So this was the cleanest, most open way to get the redstone done. So I'll just figure something out. And while I was putting up the side walls for the chambers, I got to thinking that I was only going to do a nice slope up to the top. But while I was doing that, I might as well convert this to basalt mode and make some basalt, because I will be needing that for the decorative bits of the engineering section, right? So while doing that, I figured, let me see if I can get a time lapse done. So I'm trying out this time lapse. I hope you enjoy it. We're going to finish off the wall there on the right, and we're going to show you how to put this into cobblestone mode. Maybe I'll get some cobblestone put out, and then I'll set it to the default mode, which is going to be ice, and that will be what we harvest, because we want to build in the nether, and we want to build out of ice. So that's what this is for. But hey, it's a 3-in-1 machine. Why not go ahead and manipulate it to see what else we can make with it, right? All right, we're back on top of the beast here, and I decided to convert it into cobblestone mode. This is cobblestone mode. You remove the packed ice up here, blue ice, and remove the blue ice, have water there, lava there. The lava will come out and hit the water, but not because it's inside that stair block, and then push it on across. Ooh! Parkoured that one like a boss into this guy. All that redstone going off, looking good. And then down here, it is pushed it out by one. I need to get one of those blocks and put it on top of that block up there. Let me also show you the default situation setting is going to be in. Okay, over, and over here. All right, so you have seen soulstone. Right, hold on. Alright, this is cobblestone. Alright, let's get rid of this. And then we'll pull this bucket up. So this won't do anything. Blue ice here. This is basalt mode. This is how you do basalt. Alright. Precious item. And then finally, if you want to do ice, which is what we want by default. Let me get this bucket. And man, why do I have so many buckets? Well, oh yeah, 2 for here and 1's for me. Okay, so let's get this lava. No more lava there. We can then turn this guy around, or remove this should do it. Yeah, there we go. And put this guy there. Boopage. Make that a water source. Make that a water source. And then, since I'm not sure if this would work right, I'm gonna turn this off so it's not ticking all the time. Lava bucket in, 2 water buckets in, get the daylight sensor out. And this is the default setting, right? This is how it should be set up anytime somebody's not using it, so that as this water block freezes and becomes ice, we will have some ice production. But now we've got all of this, and now it's ready to go. Yes, I'm gonna get some ice for my build in the nether, which you can subscribe to see if you want to see more, because that's all the time I have for today. Yes, there's some knick-knacky things to clean up around, and I will do those off camera. But until next time, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again real soon. Check out the build on the bottom left to see how we got to this point.